All right, well, here we go. It's the Bearcat Journal Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken. Visit www.galacticfriedchicken.com to download the app for Android, iPhone, and everything Galactic. You know the deal by now. Dayton, Kentucky. Great fried chicken. Go to the app, they'll deliver it to you in the greater Cincinnati area. So do that. That wasn't fun, man. The reality is that sucked. Crosstown shootout is in the books. Xavier wins 83-63. Cincinnati was in the game for, I don't know, 8 minutes. Xavier threw a punch. Cincinnati never recovered. And I mean, I guess the reality is we knew this, right? Like we knew. This is a better Xavier roster than a Cincinnati roster. And the things that Xavier does well created problems because they're the things that Cincinnati doesn't do well. And that's what we saw. And you can start on the glass. 41-28 edge for Xavier. They had 14 offensive rebounds. They missed, quick math, 29 shots, 25 of 54. They missed 29 shots. They get almost half of them back. 16 second chance points. And everybody's going to talk about rebounding because that's a huge story in this game. But the other massive story, this Cincinnati team has been pretty good off the bench this year. They've held their own. In fact, in most games, they dominate bench points. 56-20. 36-point advantage for Xavier's bench. Obviously, in large part, the Jack Nunge game. That's how 2021 will go in the books. 31 points, 15 rebounds, 2 assists, 9 of 14 from the floor, 2 of 4 from 3, 11 of 15 from the free throw line. They couldn't handle him. He gave them massive problems, not only as a scorer in the pick and roll, because Cincinnati struggled mightily to guard ball screens in this game. And when you struggle mightily to guard ball screens, the screener oftentimes has just as much chance to get hot as the guy with the ball in his hands. And that's what happened. But the biggest problem was Nunge getting on the offensive glass, 7 offensive rebounds. He went to the line 15 times. He made 11 of 15 in his from his free throws. So 11 of his 31 came from Cincinnati fouling him. They just couldn't handle him. And that's a concern for me because you had at least hoped that from the 5, you would be able to hold up. That, like, yes, Nunge is very good. And there's a very much a case to be made. He's been Xavier's best player through the first part of the season. The problem for me is with Abdul-Ado, whatever, with Hayden Koval, with Victor Locken, with Odioguama, who was fouled him a lot. Quite a few of those fouls that Nunge picked up were on Odioguama. Sorry. You can't let somebody in a secondary role go off for 31 points in the crosstown shootout. You can't. It was an uneven bag for Cincinnati offensively. They never really got going. Yeah, they had 3 players in double figures. John Newman led the way with 14, David DeJulius with 12. Let's see, I think 10 of those were in the first half, scored 2 points after halftime. Newman had 11 in the second half. Jeremiah Davenport had 11, 8 in the second half. Mike Saunders, with his 3-point shot, got things going a little bit. He had 8. Victor Locken had 8. But then Abdul-Ado, 2. Mike Adams-Woods, 4. Hayden Koval, 0. Jared Hensley, who I thought played actually pretty well in the 9 minutes he got. I was encouraged by Jared Hensley. But Odi Oguama, 2. 5 fouls in 7 minutes. Xavier has the better roster. Like, we knew that coming in. We were well aware of that. What did we talk about? Cincinnati has to force Xavier out of playing at their highest level. And in turn, on top of that, Cincinnati's going to need to play above their level to win this game. None of that happened. Cincinnati played below their level. Xavier played above their level. And there was no chance with that on the table that this game was going to meet in the middle. And it's frustrating for this team, what we've seen so far, that they would come into this game and play so far below what we've seen them be capable of. You have to give credit to the Xavier roster because they make it, when they're playing like they did tonight, they make things very difficult because you have to pick your poison. And Cincinnati didn't make them one-dimensional, didn't make them have to make tough decisions on who we're going to go to make things happen. Whoever had the ball in their hands played well. And, that's a tough spot to be in. I think the most frustrating thing for me was, so you go into halftime and you didn't look good at all. You didn't play well in the first half. You're down 15. But you have a chance, if you can get some stops, put some points on the board, to at least make things interesting through the second half. And they did half of that. They came out, they got 4 stops to start the second half. You've got to at least be able to put 4, 5, 6 points on the board. Turn that 50, like if you take that 15-point lead and you make it 9, all of a sudden the game tightens up. But instead, Cincinnati got 4 stops, didn't score a point. And the first points of the second half were scored by Xavier on their 5th possession. From then, it was a foregone conclusion. We'll see what happens in terms of how bad the final score is. Because Cincinnati gave themselves a chance to at least make it interesting in the second half. And offensively, this team is just, they're not good on the offensive end at this point. And the problem I think most of us are having is there's not any inclination that there's an easy answer on how to fix their issues offensively. They need to get out and run. They can't get out and run because they can't defensive rebound. Because of the roster and the way it's constructed, they can't really press. So if you can't press and create live ball turnovers, and you can't defensive rebound and create live ball opportunities to go the other way, then you can't play in transition consistently. So then you have to play in the half court. And they just don't have enough firepower in the half court to be in a game like this with a really talented Xavier team and trade punches because you're going to get knocked out. And they got knocked out. We'll have more on the site in the coming days, but that is the Saturday, December 11th nightcap. If you don't want to watch it, I understand. It is what it is.